Okay, Google, turn my light blue. Okay, oh, I just realized I don't have my music going. Well, that should probably be something I started before I got streaming. How lovely. So where did I keep it? D&D branding? There we go. Cool, there we go. Alright, let's see if anybody is in chat. No, nobody is in chat yet. Give me a moment. And let the people come as I post the link everywhere. You get a post. And you get a post. And you also get a post. Beautiful. Alright. Looks like we're just about set up here. Probably, yeah, there we go. Let's pop out the live chat. Ooh, why do you not want to load? That's weird. Restore chat. Hey Noah, how's it going? Just doing some last minute catch up here. Ah, there we go. Finally, chat's working. Let's get that. There, that works. And what else do we need? Ah, yes, OBS goes over in the corner so I can actually see what I'm doing. Just gonna let my Twitter followers know. And then we can get designing. Oh, actually, I just realized. Is it afternoon for you, Noah? Because it is 7 p.m. at night for me. So, obviously, we are not in the same time zone, it would appear. Beauty. Cool. Okay. I just want to double check to see if this worked properly. Hey, it did. Cool. Alright, and that is everything. Now we can start. Okay, so where are we going to start? I think actually a better idea is to go over what has been done since the last stream, because it has been quite a while since then. Unfortunately, work has been a little busy for me. So, I think this is all the same. Yes, this is what we're basically going to be working on, the later level features, but Order of Origami. Yeah, I haven't done anything with the orders too much. It's the sealing instruments that I have worked on, because last stream? Yeah, it was last stream. We went through and just jotted the basic ideas down. There still are some that are like just basic ideas, but I have fleshed out, well, somewhat, these four here. The Aegis Stamp, Sigil Cards, Ink and Quill, which is 100% done, and Living Ink. Basically, everything is good to go. It just needs an 11th level feature. And then I still need to work on these guys up here. Currently afternoon in Australia. Oh, nice. Not sure if you remember me, but I am... Oh, yep, Noah Tiger. There we go. Not used to that name after these days. Yeah. Gotcha. Cool. How have you been? Hopefully you've been doing okay. Oh, and then I sort of made a Inkwell companion stat block. It might change a few things. I mean, this whole document, I might change a few things, is the main thing here. So, the main thing to remember anyway. I guess the other thing I also did was I trimmed down the spell list a little bit. It used to be quite large, but now it's somewhat less. I think I trimmed, on average, like maybe 6 or so spells out of each level, which, I mean, overall adds up to quite a bit of a loss there. But so far, what they have is more than Cleric. It's... yeah, more than Cleric, more than Bard. Only slightly more than Druid. Druid is kind of close, but not quite. The main issue, or not issue, but the main thing about this spell list, and what I'm probably going to have to do another pass over, is I want this to be mainly non-damaging spells. So, anything that does like huge amounts of damage, I kind of want to trim out of here. So what I kind of want is like indirect damage, like Animate Dead. Not that Animate Dead is going to be your best option here, but you know, that kind of thing, right? I don't want like Fireball, which I already don't have on the list, but yeah, I want this class to mainly revolve around its seals, and that's how it's going to get its main, not necessarily damage, but main meat in a fight, you know? Like, yeah, there are seals that are going to do damage, but there's also seals that will lock enemies in, right? That's going to be their main go-to power in combat. And the seals still do use spell slots, so I'm not worried about having, like, you've got all this magic and then a separate resource. No, they're the same resource, which is pretty important, I feel. Sorry for the spelling mistake in the last message. No problem. I'm doing quite good. Went to a festival, which was an awesome experience. That's cool. Very cool. Like a music festival or like a Renaissance fair kind of thing. How have I been? I have been pretty good for the most part. Been Been really enjoying designing for D&D. It's been a lot of fun. Past that, yeah, well, life's pretty good overall, I would say. But anyway, the 9th level section here is something I want to trim down, but I don't know. They're all really nice. That's the issue. Yeah, I think I might need to trim this down. I mean, Wizard still has more options at 9th level, but like anybody other than Wizard basically has anywhere from like, I think it's like 4 to 6 9th level options, which is like pretty sad if you think about it. But whatever, I suppose. But yeah, I'm getting sidetracked here. We don't need to do the spell list here, because tinkering with the spell list is pretty boring for a stream anyway. I mean, I might, because I've got a not next week, but the week after that. I've got the week off, so it's going to be a lot of streaming that week. At hopefully times that most people can make it. Because I do know it's a little late for most people, so hence why chat's pretty quiet at the moment. But yeah, that's basically everything that's been worked on in the meantime between streams. Also, in case anybody is like caught this, but signature order, the thing that you get at 3rd level, currently in the document is before. Come on, where is it? There's sealing instruments, which you get a level before at 2nd. So this will be fixed. Don't worry, it's bugging me too. But yeah, I'll do it later. I'm not going to do it now. But anyway, so here's what I'm thinking, right? We are going to finish the base class. Now, all the important stuff was done for quite a while. The core was there, so like, you know, level 1 to 5. All that was there. What I was working on, and what I said in the first video in the series, or the first live stream rather, was this guy was meant to be the big thing here. So think of it almost like not bardic inspiration, but Bard's feature, where they get Mystic Arcanum is Warlock. What the heck is Bard's thing? Why am I blanking on this? The thrills of getting old. Gotta love it. Magical secrets. There we go. I think I got tongue-tied because I was like, oh, you know, it's Secret Arcanum is going to be the Sealer's feature. What's something else that has Arcanum? Well, the Warlock's thing, but it's not the Warlock thing at all. So it's basically it would have let you pick any spell from any spell list and add it to your spell list and give it the ritual tag. There were going to be way too many stipulations, though, so I decided to cut it, because I still could have done it, but with the amount of stipulations I needed for balance, the list basically, out of the like 520 or so, maybe even more than that, I can't remember, spells in D&D 5th edition, only 30 of them qualified. So at that point, is it really like, oh, pick any spell? Because that's just going to make a really terrible feel-bad moment, honestly. You're just gonna go ahead and be like, alright, I've got this cool new feature. Let me pick up this spell. That seems fun. Oh, it doesn't qualify. Well, that sucks. Let me pick another one. Oh, that also doesn't qualify. Okay. Third time's the charm, I guess. Let me pick this. No, that doesn't qualify either. And then the player just gives up on it because they're like, oh, I can't find anything, you know? I also did think about maybe adding like an appendix where it's like, okay, here's for your convenience, a list of all the spells that qualify for this. But still, I don't like that. I don't like that at all, because the narrative is like, you can turn any spell into a ritual. You have the ritual knowledge to do so. Here's your tiny list to pick from out of every spell, which it kind of implies you can. So, yeah, not a fan. The festival had mixed range of entertainment, music, food, dog shows, rides, shopping booths. Okay. Fortunately, I can't stay in the stream as much, but glad to hear you've been good. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. It's been good to see you around. D&D is something I don't think I've heard much about. Might need to do some research about it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, I don't know if you're still here, but I'll quickly give you a rundown. It's a tabletop RPG, so you're not playing... Well, I guess you can play online. There are, like, online programs that help you play, but normally, or traditionally, it's played in person. The best way to think of it is like a turn-based RPG. I think, in the first stream, somebody was like, oh, so it's kind of like XCOM? And I was like, I guess so? It's, kind of weird putting that up with XCOM, but I mean, if you've never played D&D and your only, I guess, knowledge of a turn-based RPG is XCOM, then yes, I guess so. But, yeah, it's more like a medieval fantasy. I say medieval, but not really. Like, there's a bunch of different settings. Anyway, but yeah, that's basically the gist of it. There's magic, and what I'm currently making is a spellcaster, a full caster. So there's basically three types of classes. There's your fighter, or your martialist, which is like a fighter, knight kind of thing. They don't have any spells. Half-caster, which kind of has the best of both worlds, but, you know, not quite the strongest points of either, which gets, like, half as many spells as a full caster. And then, obviously, a full caster, which is what this is, gets all the magic. And, I've never designed one. So, this is my first run at making a full caster, and I'm also, making it a little odd in the fact that it's got, like, a huge overarching, almost like a secondary magic system built into it. And I'm giving it two classes. Or two subclasses, rather. Your Sealing Instrument and Signature Order, which has never been done before. I haven't even seen a, they might exist, but I personally have never seen anyone else do two subclass options in one class. So, maybe I'm biting off more than I can chew, but I think I have a pretty good handle on it. This is class number 6, right? Hold on. Has it been? Yeah, right? Soul Weaver, Spellslinger, Culinarian, Goldemancer, Channeler, and now the Sealer. That's number 6. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm not going crazy. Yeah, saying it out loud, I've made 5 classes, and this is my 6th one, is just kind of like, huh, okay then, you know? But yeah, so I think now's a good time as any, or as good a time as any, if I could English properly. To go ahead and work on these features. So my idea here is 10th level and 14th level are going to be minor features, and then you're going to get your major features at 18th and 20th, which, you know, it's understandable, but I would like to... There's a few things I want to do here that I don't think I can do, and I think I might be able to save them for subclasses, which we'll see. Like, did I write it down? No, not that one. Yeah. So you are able to use spell scrolls to cast spells even if they're not on your spell list. That's one that I've been kicking around, and I think it's probably what I'm going to stick in here. But what I wanted to add on to that was basically take this and take it to, like, the next logical conclusion. Okay, so I can cast spells from other spell scrolls not on my spell list. Well, that's great. But how do I get them? You know, you can find them in some dusty catacomb somewhere, or you can purchase them from a magic shop for probably a lot of money. Or, what I'm thinking is your... where is it? Scroll Scrivener feature. Which I actually moved around some of the feature orders. I don't know if anybody caught that or when I did that, but it happened at one point. I don't know if it was between this stream and the last one. But anyway, basically take your Scroll Scrivener feature that lets you make spell scrolls a whole lot faster. And now, at 10th level, potentially, you can now help an ally scribe their scrolls. So my idea there is, I think that might be a bit too much for a 10th level feature. And I don't want that to be the major feature, because waiting all the way until level 18 is absolutely a no-go. Like, there's no way. That's gonna be so much wasted potential on that. So I think making some sort of, like, order of knowledge or order of tutors, like, you know, like you hire a tutor to teach you kind of thing. Order of teachers, order of scholars, something along those lines. Basically, something that's going to help people make things. Or it gives the class more skill proficiencies, but that's boring. But I don't know. Something like that, maybe. Anyway, so the DC for spell scrolls you create is equal to your spell save. Now that is something. I don't know if I want this to be. I don't know if I want this to be a base feature as a part of Scroll Scrivener, or if I want this to be. Or if I want this to be. Yeah. Because I'm basically sold on this, right? You can use spell scrolls that are not on your spell list. That's really cool. This right here, this is a minor feature, I would consider. And I've already got a minor feature tied up in here, so I don't want that. Thinking I might just make it base. Ooh, whoops. Looks like I did an @everyone in someone else's channel. I didn't even think I would be able to do that, but apparently I did. That's whoops. Oh crap! Did I do that in? Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I put that in. Damn it. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's all sorted out. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. That's my bad. Anyway. Back to this, I guess. So I just want to double check. Spell scrolls. Because basically they have a built-in DC, which is kind of like, why? You know? It's just very odd to me. I always thought that it should be based on the person who wrote it. Because, like... Yeah, here we go. A, cantrip, first and second. Save DC of 13 for all of those. And +5 to attack. And immediately, you go up 1 level to 3rd, and also 4th. It's now 15. And +7. Like, why is there not... Well, 1, why is it not, like, a gradual increase? And 2, why not just make it the same bonus as the creator of the scroll, you know? Less tracking, easier to throw in if, like, an NPC made it, I guess. But, like... Yeah. I guess the assumption there is, like, an NPC made it, and the DM is like, oh, I don't know. I guess maybe they were like, then they draw a blank and they're like, crap, what do I do? Then, you know, they can just consult the list because an NPC made it and they don't need to, or they don't necessarily know the stats of that person, right? So that's why they have built-in saves? I'm guessing, right? That's the assumption, anyway. So, based off that logic, right, would it then not follow that as a player character, you could actually have the save DC equal to your DC, right? Because, like, yeah, it's going to be super cheap and easy to produce first level spells. But... Sorry, I just had a thought, potentially. It's going to be easy to pop out first level spells, but if they're always going to be save DC 13, no matter how powerful you get, it's going to be kind of weird, don't you think? Right? Yeah. I I think I've sold myself on this. So this is going to now be a base class feature. Do I want that? Do I want this before or after the spell scroll cost table? I think it's fine to put it before, because putting it after, it's then going to be a wedge between this box and that box, and that's just going to be weird, right? Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to use with heading 4, and this is heading 2. Okay, cool. So what do we call this? Because I don't want to make this a full feature. I want to make this a sub-feature, like how I've got, you know, seals, which is then broken down into sigils, activating a seal and dispelling a seal, and all that sort of stuff. Because I don't want to bloat out the list here, but I also want to make it so, like, this is very much a distinct thing, and I don't want this to get lost in, oh yeah, you can make spell scrolls better, kind of thing. I mean, you know, it's similar but different enough, you know? So, yeah, I think it definitely warrants having a extra thing. Imbued writing, imbued scroll, artful creation. I'll think on that more, actually. I'll just do that for now. And I will go ahead and snag. You're able to use... No, that one. The DC for spell scrolls you create is equal to the... Yeah, cool. Take in all this and plop in it right there. Cool. So the DC for the scrolls you create is equal to your spell save DC. Spell save DC. And the spell attack the DC for a... No. The DC for a spell cast from a... so the DC... spell save DC and spell attack fire. The spell save DC and the spell attack modifier for a spell cast from a scroll that you created is equal to your spell save DC is equal to your spell save DC and spell attack modifier. Cool. There we go. That makes sense, right? The spell save DC and spell attack modifier for a spell cast from a scroll that you created is equal to your spell save DC and spell attack modifier. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So we can go ahead and scrap this, right? The DC for spell scrolls you create, blah, blah, blah. Yep. That's what we just picked up. Cool. So let's fix all this. There we go. Cool. Formatting is back on track. Okay. Check the Discord real quick, 1 second. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm happy with that there. That makes sense. Like it's not going to be powerful right off the bat, right? It's going to grow with you. It's one of those kind of features, right? So I think it's totally fine adding it here. Because the Scroll Scrivener feature is also dependent on money, right? So, like, the Scroll Scrivener thing is something nice you can do, but it's not something you need to do. Like, the wizard spell, like, you know, copying spells in your spellbook for a wizard. You can do it, but you really should. So, it's not quite a good example there, right? We all know how much of a money sponge wizards are on a party, so yeah, Scroll Scriveners are nice to have, but it's not like super crazy powerful, if you know what I mean. Anyway, this thing still needs a name. What do we name it? Scroll craft? Scroll expert scribe? Arcane scribe. Yeah, I think I like that. Arcane scribe. Beautiful. Scroll Scrivener with the sub-feature Arcane Scribe. Yep, that's pretty good. Let me just make sure the wording, I don't need to change any wording now that I've added this before the spell scroll cost table. I didn't actually call out the spell scroll table. Huh. Did I? Hold on. Time, money, as shown. Okay, as shown on the spell scroll cost table. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, wording checks out there. Just give me a moment. There we are. Sorry about that. So, now that we've got that placed, not necessarily in the block that we were kind of working on, but it's still placed nonetheless. Where do we go next? So we've got a scroll feature, which I'm basically sold on. Let me just double check. 10th level. You're getting a signature order feature, which is your core flavor upgrade. Hey, Parka, how's it going? Glad you could make it. I assume you're just popping in now. So what we just went over was... Well, before that, what I was saying is what we want to do here is this. This is going to be our first mission at the very least. Don't know how long this is going to take us, but this is going to be our very first mission this stream, is to figure out what we want to do for the rest of the base class. And I had one here that it is this one. Yeah, this is the one that I'm most likely going to make the minor feature, because it's going to go minor, minor scroll, minor ritual, major scroll, and major ritual. And I have to do it that way because you're also getting two things, or you're getting something else at these levels, so I can't make them a very powerful feature. And it was between this scroll-based ability or another one. And I have opted to just slap that in as something you get at level 1. Because, as I was saying before, when you make a spell scroll, the DC for it is just set. Like, if you make a second level spell scroll, no matter how high of a level you are, it is always going to have a save DC of 13, no matter what. And I kind of like discussed it with myself, sort of talked myself into it, I guess, I assume that is there basically just for the ease of DMing. Because, like, as a DM, right, if somebody finds a spell scroll, you're going to be like, oh, cool. Hey, DM, how powerful is this scroll? Like, how powerful was the person that made it? And you're like, I don't know. And then you just quickly consult the chart, and you're like, oh, it's a spell save 13, because it's second level. The guy who made it probably wasn't that strong. But this is on a class. And you, at all times, know exactly how powerful you are. And so does the DM. So what I'm thinking here is the spell save DC and spell attack modifier for a spell cast from a scroll that you created is equal to your spell save DC and spell attack modifier. That's something that I think is not that powerful at first level, because it's going to grow with you, right? So I'm not really too concerned about that. So I think that is probably the best home for this. And I keep coming back to this, and yeah, I think I'm pretty sold on slapping that into the 10th level spot here. Because at 10th level, you're also getting a core flavor upgrade. Yeah. You're able to use... Yeah. Is this too much of a power bump, though? Is what I wonder. Because one of the main balancing things of this class, right, is it's not getting a whole lot of offensive spells. And if now, you can go ahead and pick up like a fireball scroll, but like you can't make the fireball scroll. So you need to dish out a lot of money from a shop, or maybe find it. Yeah. You're gonna either have to find it, or if you do have a magic shop in your campaign, it's gonna cost a pretty penny. So I think there's enough balance there to do that, right? I don't know. What do you think? I shall ask chat to see what they think. I was never very fond of money cannons. Wait, what do you mean? I'm not familiar with that term. But yeah, so I'm just gonna snag this and drop it right there. Now. Trying to balance something by making it monetarily expensive. Yeah. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Like, that's not my main kind of, thing there. It's just definitely something that most DMs are going to, consider. And that's usually how, or, like, that's how the base rules kind of imply that it's meant to be played, right? You can use a spell scroll to cast spells even if they're not on the sealer spell list, right? Because at the end of the day, you can't make them. So it's not that easy to get your hands on them. This is more like, it's almost like, I think that Thief Rogue has an ability that basically lets you use any magic item even if you're not normally allowed to. So it's like a cool feature, but it's not a feature that you're necessarily going to get all the time, right? You're going to get in, like, certain situations, but it's not an always like, oh yeah, every combat I'm going to be doing extra damage or something along those lines. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking about what to call this. Arcane... Something to do with deciphering, I think. So Arcane Decipher? Arcane. No. I mean, I could just take the easy route and call it Scroll Expert, but that's really lame. Magical versatility. Wait, that's already an optional feature. What do you mean? Like being able to use a scroll that's not on your list? I think the name Magical Versatility is already in use, probably. That is absolutely not how you spell that. What am I on? D-E... Okay, here we go. D-E... Right? Yeah, okay. Breadth of study? Yeah. I still would like to know what you mean by wait, that's already an optional feature. Because I don't want to like make a class feature that's already something people do, you know? Because like rules as written, that's how it's played. But I do know that some people like homebrew it, so like yeah, if you got a spell scroll, boom, you can just use the spell scroll. You don't even have to be a caster, you can use the spell scroll. So I guess that kind of is a bit of an issue. But you can't necessarily make a subclass, or a class rather, just to be like, okay, boom, here it is, but now I have to account for every single homebrew rule that's out there. You'd be spinning yourself in circles. No, the mechanics you created are not in use to my knowledge. I thought that Magical Versatility was the name of one of the Tasha's alternate features that let you swap something. Okay. Cantrip Versatility, I think, is the feature you might be thinking of. It was basically given to most spellcasters, I think. I think even half casters don't get cantrips, unless you're the Artificer, so. Actually, they might have gotten it too, because it was re-released in Tasha's, so. Yeah. But versatile studies, like, for the name of the ability diverse library, Like, the thing with study and studying implies that, like, you're sitting down and studying these things, which almost implies that you would be able to make them yourself, but you can't. That's why I kind of like the decipher route. Like, you're looking at the spell scroll, and you're like, okay, I've made so many spell scrolls in my time, and I know exactly how they're scribed, exactly how this is done, that I can look at something and I'd be like, oh, okay, that kind of, like, reminds me of the thing that I do when I make my spell scrolls. This is probably how you use it, and then you can now use it. It's not like you're sitting down learning every single spell, right? Because again, studying kind of implies that you're now learning every single spell in a spell scroll, but you now still can't cast them. That's my only issue with calling it, like, something study related. Breadth of study. I do kind of like breadth of study, though, so I might use that for a ritual feature, maybe. Maybe something that gives you, the ability to cast more rituals, or... But the whole thing with this guy's spell list is that every ritual spell is on the spell list, just period. So... I do kind of like that, though. Breadth of study... Cool name. Use it for a feature. Cool. Decipher Arcane. That's kind of neat. Yeah. Sorry I settled on this, but I really do appreciate all the suggestions, though. I do think I'll probably get that. Because that is a really cool name. Just gotta figure out where to put it. I don't know, I could put it in like a one of the subclasses too. Decipher Arcane. So I need to flesh this out a little bit. Save it for another project too. Yeah, of course. Breadth of study. I mean, what I'm working on after this is going to be the Tinkerer, which is like another class that utilizes my Golem Core system, but it doesn't have the big mech. It just has the Moppets. So you basically command your little army of Moppets to run around and do things. I'm thinking of either making it a full caster, or, well, you know, it's not a caster, but the equivalent, right? Giving it more Moppets to command, more Moppets known, that kind of thing. And or give it some sort of weird ability to make things on the fly, or make little inventions, right? So I could use it over there, because it's going to be yet another intelligence-based class. It seems like all I do is intelligence-based stuff. Well, no. Not really. Because Soul Weaver's charisma. Spellslinger's intelligence. Culinarian is wisdom. Then Golemancer's intelligence. Channeler's constitution. This is intelligence. And then the next one's going to be intelligence. So that'll be 4 out of the 7. Once it gets that far along. I made a puppeteer in 3.5 that did something like that. I think that's why I got confused about the Golemancer. Okay. Don't worry about it. Int is underused as it is. Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's just... Int also seems like... Just because it is so underutilized, I think a lot of people default to using that as a stat, or like a line of like creation. Like, okay, cool. What don't we have a lot of? Oh, intelligence. And then they use that as a jumping off point and then make like, ooh, this class or that class. It all needs to be intelligence, right? And then you get to a point where everyone uses that line of thinking because everyone is like, wow, intelligence is so underutilized. Let me make a new intelligence-based class. And then we end up with the vast majority of homebrew things using intelligence. Which is not, it's not the end of the world. It's not a bad thing. It's just a lot of things use intelligence. In the homebrew scene, that is. But yeah, it's not really a big deal. I don't know why I'm making such a big deal about it, out of it. If it fits the narrative of the class, that's its casting stat. Don't try and shoehorn something else in. You know what I mean? I've honestly seen a ton of charisma-based warlock casters myself. Yeah. I don't necessarily... Well, I mean, yeah, charisma-based, right? But that kind of is interesting, because, yeah, I have seen a lot of casters... Well, not a lot, but, you know, more than a few, I'll say, than that it's like, oh, this seems like an interesting class concept. Let me click on this and see what it's all about. Oh, it's a pact caster. You know? Which is like kind of weird, because the whole pact casting system has a very specific narrative behind it. Like, you're not... You don't have any powers. You're basically being like, hey, big patron buddy, blast that guy. And then they do the job for you. And because of that, you can get all your magic back on a short rest. So, I don't quite know where I'm going with that point. Other than the fact that, yeah, you do bring up a good point, that there are a lot of warlock, pact caster type homebrews out there. But yeah, Decipher Arcane. So, need to slap in a little bit of flavor into this, because it's going to be boring otherwise. I've also got this whole row to fill up, and also this side too. This side is just work in progress stuff, so... actually, how many pages is... 1, 2, 3. I don't see this being 4-page base class. And I don't think I've ever written more than a 4-page base class. The Channeler was 2. I think the Golemancer is 2 or 3. I can't remember. Anyway. I'm not heavy arms. I can't fit an entire class into 1 page. So what do I have here? You're able to use spell scrolls that you cast even if they're not on the sealer spell list. Given your aptitude for creating scrolls, well versed in the specific magic symbols needed to scribe them. As such, you are able to quickly cipher and utilize any scroll at your disposal. Maybe that's a bit too wordy, but yeah, it's like that. 4 lines of flavor, 2 lines of mechanics. I don't know. You're able to use spell scrolls to cast spells, even if they are not on the sealer spell list. The scroll is still destroyed after casting as normal. I just don't want to confuse people. You can use spell scrolls to cast spells even if they're not on the sealer spell list. I don't want that to, like... I mean, most people are going to understand that, but I don't want, like, the outliers to be like, oh, this means if I have the scroll in my hand, I can cast Fireball as many times as I want, you know? That's, not good. I mean, sure, you know, it would still use spell slots, right? But I don't want it to use spell slots. I want this to be like, okay, cool. I'm gonna use Fireball, and then, the scroll's gone. Yeah. There we go. And now it's 3 lines of mechanics, 4 lines of flavor. It's a bit of a better ratio. So this came from here, right? You were able to use spell scrolls to cast even if they're not on the sealer spell list. Boom. There we go. That's that cleared out. Cool. So now we need some sort of ritual spell, ritual feature. A minor one at that. I don't know if you've spotted this, but this is definitely a major thing, and I think it's probably going to be our major scroll feature. Because, that's pretty cool. Like, the scroll features are very easy. I don't have a huge amount for ritual stuff, mainly because of... where is it? The ritual staff. I've been kind of like humming and hawing about all this, and I don't know what to do. Because, like, I want the base class to have more ritual stuff, right? I don't want this to be like, oh yeah, you get, like, rituals, but only if you take the staff, you know? I want this to be something that builds off it. So, like, gets free bonus rituals, lowers the material cost of rituals, but there's not really that many material cost, or at the very least high material cost rituals. So, it's not that potent. And then all I have here is like, oh, you get some sort of bonus after you finish a ritual, you know? Which, I think that can stay with the staff. I don't think that's going to be a major thing. Or a main class thing. Is there any special provisions for high-level spell scrolls that you can... is there any provisions for high-level spell scrolls that you can cast if they aren't on your list? Like... not quite sure what you mean. Like, is there some sort of extra cost you need? Yeah. Some sort of added cost. I don't necessarily think it needs it, right? Because rules as written, like, it's taking more than 4 times this to scribe a scroll, right? Unless you're... because, like, you know, anybody who isn't a sealer is going to be scribing their scrolls at the normal pace, which is going to be a very long time. So you're either going to need a ridiculous amount of downtime just to make this one scroll that you can then hand to your sealer and they can use, or you find one in a dungeon. But I don't think most DMs are going to be giving out like super powerful spell scrolls just willy-nilly like that. And like that's kind of the whole point of a spell scroll too, right? It's like, okay, cool. Somebody has spent so much time and so much effort to make this scroll. It's imbued with magic. It is a spell slot, effectively. That's how much care and effort went into this. And you can burn it to cast the spell. And that's just, like, spell scrolls, period. Even a 9th level spell scroll. So I don't think it's, like, too big of an issue to have it, like, where, yeah, you know, it's not on your spell list, but you can still cast it. I don't think, just because it's not on your spell list, like, you don't need to use a spell slot or some other kind of cost or added cost. Something to think about, but I think for now it should be fine. I might tweak that based on like feedback from playtests and all that, but I think for now it shouldn't be too big a deal. And I believe it was either Ross Leiser or Benjamin Huffman over on Twitter that pointed out that, what is it? Whenever you're casting a ritual, like, you're concentrating on the ritual, so you'll basically break, where was it? I think, did I bookmark it? Give me a second here. I want to make sure the wording is right. Did I end up bookmarking it? No, of course I didn't. Oh, actually, I can just go into tweets and replies, right? Nope. Skip for now. Thank you. Twitter, I don't care. Tweets and replies. No, it wasn't that. Lower down. Ah, here we go. Yeah, it was Ben. Okay. I was today years old when I discovered that spells with a casting time longer than an action require concentration, even if they don't say they do. I should clarify. They require concentration to cast. Yeah. So when you're casting it, not to sustain for the duration unless it says so. Yeah, so it's just the casting time for that. So that's cool. But I'm thinking something like that, right? Performing a ritual does not break concentration on a spell that you've got going, which is going to be nice because I've lowered rituals of, where is it? Ritual Adept at 6th level. Your rituals take a minute instead of 10 minutes. So that's going to help a lot. Because even if like you've got a concentration spell that's only 10 minutes long, your rituals are only a minute. So you're still going to have like 9 minutes worth of this concentration thing that's going on still. Obviously it's not an in-combat thing, but still it's something. And even if like there's not a huge amount of... Man, that's something I might have to look into to see exactly how many concentration spells are on the list, but it almost has like built-in bonuses from this. Because you can pick up a scroll that is concentration, you can cast it on yourself, you're now concentrating. And you're like, okay, cool, I've got this 1 hour concentration thing going on, but I still want to cast a ritual. Then it's gonna break concentration, you know? So, that's something, and it's pretty minor as well, because you're getting your seal interaction upgrade at that level again, so can't be too major. I'm gonna mull over this a bit more, I think. But for now, because we basically have it, we're gonna do this. We're just gonna go ahead. We are going to work on the major scroll feature. Yeah, I'm pretty sold on the fact that, like, chance to not consume a spell scroll on use is gonna be real nice. And that's, like, the penultimate goal of, like, a scroll scribe, right? Making your scrolls so powerful, or... No. I think this is gonna have to be for you. This can't be something that applies to your scrolls. I think this needs to apply to the character itself, as, like, they're so good at casting spells from scrolls, and that's why they get this bonus. 'Cause, like... Yeah... Because, like, getting a bunch of cool scrolls that you now hand out to your friends... which would mainly be the wizard. But there are... This thing does get some cleric spells and some druid spells and a lot of arcane spells. So you could share this around still. But yeah, I think this is going to be a character-specific one. I don't think this is going to be on the scrolls. Yeah, we'll do that way. We can always change it, because this whole thing is one massive work in progress. But for now, that is what we're going to do. So there's a few ways we could do this. Ones that I've been kind of thinking about. Probably a chance to consume a spell slot instead of the scroll. That would also keep a built-in power check around the level of the scroll involved, and it would interact with their usage of spell scrolls from another list. Perhaps. The only thing there is, like, you can now effectively use that to drastically increase your spells known. I mean, it's still a chance to consume the scroll. But, like, if you set aside a week, right? You got, like, a downtime week, you make a whole bunch of first and second level scrolls. You got a backup, right? You got, like, 5 of these first level scrolls. You cast one. Okay, it burns the scroll. You cast another. Okay, cool. Now I'm spending a spell slot. And then you do it again, and then it burns the scroll, and then so on and so forth. My other issue is that you now have to worry about the scrolls in a very specific way. Because, like, it makes a potential feel bad, right? Like, you've got a spell scroll, right? Because you like the scroll, or you like that spell a lot specifically, so you're like, okay, cool. I want to be able to cast this a few extra times, so I've made some scrolls. But it's already on your prepared list, because again, you like that spell a lot. You just want to get a little bonus out of it. So you burn the scroll, you're like, okay, cool, here we go. And then you roll whatever you need to roll, right? And then, boom, you can now use this scroll as a spell slot. That's pretty cool. But then the player's like, well, I literally could have done that anyway. It's on my prepared list. So do I not have, like, an 18th level feature here? What's going on? You know, that kind of feel bad. That's my issue there. And also, this is 18th level. This is already unbalanced territory. Not that, like, I don't care about balance. Like, you know, balance is very important. But what I'm saying is, like, Wizards of the Coast do not know how to balance games past, like, 12th level, right? So having something that kind of goes balls to the wall is, like, not too big of an issue. Because, again, at 18th level, you're getting nothing but this. The reason that these were kind of minuscule features, well, minor-ish features were because you're also getting something else at that level. I just felt like, the progression of, ritual, scroll, ritual, scroll, ritual was too interesting not to pass up, you know? You could choose not to invoke the feature. Stepped away, didn't catch. It was the 18th feature. Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no problem. Cool. Okay. I was like, wait a second. Is it really going to be this big of an issue? But yeah, no. If you didn't realize it was 18th level, then yeah. No, I understand where you're coming from though. If you're like, oh, yeah, let's slot this in at like 10th level. Yeah, no, it's a bit much. Yeah, what I was saying before all that though is there was one way I was thinking, and it was basically like a tiered system, right? So instead of just like, oh, you've got like X die, right? Like, I don't know, for example, a D10, you know? All your spell scrolls use a D10. You could do it that way. But what it could be interesting is like, okay, cool. Your cantrip and your first level spells use a D4. If you roll the highest number on the die, you don't consume the spell scroll. I think a D4 might be a bit too small, but you know what I mean, right? And then eventually, like, second, third, and fourth levels are a D6, and then a D8, and then a D10, and D12, and as long as you roll the highest number, it's good to go. Because I'm just thinking, like, you know, spell scrolls can't be upcast. They are, and I don't even think you can, like, decide when you're making it, like, it's, a first level spell, and you're like, oh, it would be cool if I could cast this at third level, but you can't, you know? It could be an interesting feature for a subclass, but for now, yeah. Yeah, for now it's fine. But anyway. Play around with that, because I guess I can kind of group them how yeah, because even with a D4 as like the lowest, right? That's still only a 25% chance you're gonna keep the scroll. It's a 75% chance that it's just gonna get burnt still, and that's a pretty massive percentage when you think of it that way, right? And also, you're 18th level. Would you really want to be, like, throwing out piddly little first and second level spells all the time? Like, sure, it's nice, mainly to use your backup reserves, or, like, you're on the ropes, you're out of spell slots, all my big guns are gone, all I've got are these, like, little dinky spell scrolls I made back at the start of the campaign. Can they save us? Degradation mechanic. I did think about that. So what are you thinking for it? I have seen a degradation mechanic where you start out with a higher die. When you roll a 1, you drop to a smaller one till you hit a 1 on a D4. Then the item crumbles. That is kind of cool, But if that was for like an overarching major feature, like some sort of psionics thing, because I think Wizards of the Coast did something like that at one point with psionics, or it was something along those lines, right? Actually, I think the die grew, not degraded, in their thing, but you know what I mean. It would be a lot easier to track if it's something overarching like that, because like that's the main core of the class, right? Everything you do revolves around that. What I don't want is for players to be like, alright, cool, I've got this spell scroll that's now degradation level 2. Let me just write that down. This spell scroll over here is degradation level 3. I gotta keep track of that. This one, I think like 3 sessions ago, this was at degradation level 2, wasn't it? And then like the party was like, oh, I don't know, I can't remember. And they were like, oh man, I forgot to take notes. DM, what degradation level was this again? And you're like, I forget, I don't know. I always like to do long-winded explanations, I realize. Hopefully they're entertaining, at least. The point of what I'm trying to get at there is, like, that is a cool mechanic, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to introduce such a huge level of tracking. Especially because 5e is supposed to be, like, fairly simple. And I know I kind of go into a lot of detail and depth with my subclasses sometimes. Sometimes too much, in the case of the Soul Weaver. But that was my first class. What do you expect? I'll get around to fixing that one day. May not be useful here, but just something I had come across. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's definitely cool, but maybe not for this. Cause yeah, even if we like, I'm kind of sold on not doing it just because I don't like all the tracking involved. But like, even if we did that, like the potential of going on a lucky streak would be cool. But like, if you go on a lucky streak with a 9th level spell scroll, like, ooh, the DM is not going to be happy. I cast Wish. Oh, I can use Wish again. I cast Wish. Oh, look at that. DM, I'm going to cast Wish one more time. You know what I mean? But I mean, I guess you could go on a lucky streak again, but like, I think I could make... Yeah, I think what I might do is make a d20 roll. A 1. Or wow, sorry. I'm thinking ahead to the next point I want to talk about. Getting ahead of myself. What I'm thinking is making the requirement to, or the die used to reuse, potentially, a 9th level is going to be a d20. What I was going to talk about was if we make it so it is a d20, is that going to cause some sort of weird interaction with the Halfling's lucky feature? Because there's 2 ways of going about this. You could either say, if you roll the largest possible number on the die, the spell scroll is not consumed. Or you could just be like, if you roll a 1 on the die, which is a little easier, but pretty sure it is something I have done. I think I've done that on the Spellslinger. Yeah, if you roll a 1 or 2, it doesn't consume the spell slot. It was one of the enhancers, I believe. Limited uses, but still a cool enhancer, nonetheless. But let me see what going on with the halflings here. Oh, I should probably check the lucky. When you roll a 1, okay. When you roll a 1 on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, very specifically calls that out. So yeah. Okay. So that makes it a lot easier for me just to be like, okay, yeah, if you roll a 1 on the die, it's not consumed. Instead of being like, the largest possible number on the die. It's a bit too wordy, you know? Huh. So I think... I don't think I need the entirety of this list. I can trim it down a bit, but... yeah, let's get rid of that and merge these two. Oh god. I forgot you have to do it one at a time. That's gonna be annoying. Merge and actually, you know what? It's way easier just to... Oop. There we go. Let's bring this over a little bit and... Yeah, let's make it centered. Sure, why not? Die... Size... Used... Used or rolled? Rolled. Yeah, let's do it that way. Given what you've said, I personally would make it a percentile. With degradation. Tracking be blasted. Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. The my original idea for degradation was just like, once you've used this spell scroll, you can't use this feature on it. It's... yeah. Or at the very least, you can't use this feature on it until you finish a short rest, but... Short rest implies that your power is coming back. I think maybe just make it permanent. Like, okay, cool. The spell scroll is now torn and tattered, or, you know, magically unstable. So it becomes impossible to ever roll to reuse the scroll again. I don't like the tracking, though. I might have to do that, though. Give the scroll a condition like players get scroll a condition. I mean, that's basically just tracking, you know. There's no real difference there, because like in this feature, I would like go into detail about why you can't use it, which is the same as a condition. Spell scroll. Stability, I guess. First. Second. Third and fourth. Whoops. Doing this bug again, are we? Alright. Table. Okay, good. Cool. Yeah. I can always tweak the numbers later. All right. Just think of what to name this, but I think maybe you just save the name, save the naming until I've got the actual feature written out here, or the specifics of the feature written out. Having a name could also help determine the flavor text, though. Maybe we'll just do the mechanical text. It's still tracking. I get it, but it's like how World of Darkness deals with the math phobic. You have dots on your sheet instead of saying you have 5 strength or something. It just feels different. Even though the end is the same. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah. I guess tracking wouldn't be horrible. Just put, like... I assume you have enough... Yeah. Yeah, I assume you would have enough, forethought to actually write out your inventory, especially when it comes to major items like a spell scroll. And just putting a simple, like, dot or X beside it wouldn't be too terrible. Yeah. Because it's just one thing of tracking. It's like, okay, does the scroll have it or not? It's not like, okay, here's scroll into stage 2 degradation, now it's in stage 3, and so on and so forth. It's just one. It's either an on or off, which isn't horrible. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just do the mechanical text. When you use a spell scroll, there is a chance the scroll is not consumed. When you use a spell scroll, there is a chance the scroll is not consumed. Use. Level of a spell scroll. use a scroll, you also roll one of the die. Also, a horrible title for this ability might be Light Reading, implying that you are more gentle with the magic as you go. That's kind of funny. Gentle Invocation. Double meaning between the lines. Maybe. I'll think about it a bit more. Use a scroll. You also roll one of the dice associated with the level of the spell scroll spell on the scroll as shown on the spell scroll stability table. If you roll a 1 on this die, the spell scroll is not consumed upon use. However, scroll I'm just thinking, do I really need this the stipulation thing, like with the degradation feature, like, because like how often is this feature actually gonna go off? Let's see. Oh, that's so weird. There we go. The Google Dice Roller didn't roll properly, or didn't start. So, I don't sadly have this set up on stream, but I'm just going to quickly roll Let's just go with 6. Sure. Let's roll 6 dice of each one. Oh, my d4, I got a 1. And that's a 2, that spell scroll's gone. There's a 2, that spell scroll's also gone. There's a 3, that spell scroll is also gone. There's a 4, that spell scroll is also gone. There's a 2 again. That spell scroll is gone. So, out of all that batch, like, if you had, like, 6 first level spell scrolls, you only saved 1. Which is, like, neat, I guess, but not crazy. Here, let's roll 66s. Oh, I got 2 1s in there. That's kind of cool. 68s. Not a single 1 showed up in there. All those spell scrolls are gone completely. Oh, funny enough, the D10s. The D10s, I got 2 1s in there. It's for your 7th levels, right? Yeah, 7th level. What about your 8th level ones? Not a single 1. And your 9th levels. Not a single 1 in there either. Let's roll again. Oh, there's 1 in there. That's pretty meaty. That's pretty cool. But that was the second die roll. The first die roll was an 11. So think about it this way. You've got a spell scroll here. Boom, it's a 9th level. That's awesome. And I cast it, and it's gone. If I had a second 9th level spell scroll, that would be cool. But what are the chances somebody's actually gonna have another 2nd level spell scroll? Like, again, with my long-winded explanations, what I'm trying to get at is, I'm just kind of wondering, like, yeah, you can go on a lucky streak, but, like, my god, that's gonna be... I think it's gonna be more of just like, wow, that's so cool that that happened at the table. Because, like, you know, this comes on really late, but let's just say, like, you've been playing an 18th level character for a while, and you're rolling away on these dice, and, like, you barely ever get any luck. It barely ever happens, and then all of a sudden, like just happened to me, your first scroll's gone, your second scroll's gone, your third scroll's gone. You pull out a 4th. I rolled for, like, 1st to 2nd level, by the way. You pull out your 4th scroll. Boom, you roll a 1. That's cool. Alright, you're gonna use it again. Test your luck. Oh my goodness. You just got another 1. That's cool. But it's not that powerful of a scroll. And then after that, you get a 2, and now it's gone. But again, by 18th level, is it really that powerful to be casting a 1st level spell? Yeah, there's a 1 in that set of d6s. There's a 3rd one. Again, there's your 3rd one for d6s. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe make it so the spell can't be used after. Chance to not consume the scroll. Yeah. It's just... It's already a fairly inconsistent feature that's left up to the luck of the dice. So... I don't know. gotta head out. Good luck with things. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for all the suggestions. Definitely helps out a lot. It's nice to bounce ideas off someone. But yeah, have fun with whatever you're going to do. All right. Let's get back to chat there. All right. So let's just read over what I've got. When you use a spell scroll, there is a chance the scroll is not consumed upon use. Whenever you use a scroll, you also roll one of the dice associated with the level of the spell on the scroll, as shown on the spell scroll stability table. If you roll a 1 on this die, the spell scroll is not consumed upon use. Thanks to your mastery of the pen and brush, no, that doesn't really work. So I want the narrative to be your knowledge, right? Thanks to your expertise at creating. I would write scribing, but I feel like I've written scribing far too often when it refers to making a spell scroll. Thanks to your expertise at creating and utilizing spell scrolls. Thanks to your mastery. There we go. It's an 18th level feature where you gotta start using those meteor words. Thanks to your mastery at creating and utilizing spell scrolls. Thanks to your mastery at creating and utilizing spell scrolls, when you use a spell scroll, thanks to your mastery at creating and utilizing spell scrolls, when you use a spell scroll, there is a chance the scroll is not consumed upon use. Thanks to your mastery at creating and utilizing spell scrolls, when you use a spell scroll, Hmm. Thanks to your mastery at creating and utilizing spell scrolls. When you use their stored power, there is a chance the scroll is not consumed upon use. Yeah, I think I dig that. I don't dig this, though. All that dead space there. So can we either add to this or trim this? Thanks to your mastery at creating and utilizing the powerful magic of spell scrolls, when you use their stored power, there is a chance the scroll is not consumed upon use. Whenever you use a scroll, you also roll one of the dice associated with the level of the spell scroll, as shown on the spell scroll stability table. If you roll a 1 on this die, the spell scroll is not consumed upon use. Beauty. Beauty. There we go. I think that's it. Ooh, yeah. Liking that. Liking that a lot. Okay. Checking Discord things again. Sorry. This thing still needs a name. And we could just be Scroll Mastery, but like... I mean, that is very descriptive. This is like the pinnacle scroll feature, right? Pinnacle Scribe? It's a cool feature name, but like that doesn't really work with the flavor. Pinnacle Scribe, that sounds so cool though. Pinnacle Scribe. Or Scroll Mastery. Yeah. Pinnacle Scribe just sounds so much cooler than Scroll Mastery. Scroll Mastery is just like super generic. Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta be Pinnacle Scribe. That's so cool. So our scroll features are Decipher Arcane and Pinnacle Scribe. Beautiful. So when do you get your features for scrolls? You've got... At least in the base class, right? You've got, as a part of your spell casting, your ritual casting, you get a little bonus for having a spell scroll on your person. And Scroll Scrivener. You get 2 things at first level for scrolls. Though to be fair, Scroll Scrivener scales pretty well. Hold on. These are both the same color. Weird, they look a little different. Anyway, Scroll Scrivener is going to scale quite a ways, though. And then, 2nd level, you get nothing. 3rd level, nothing. 4th and 5th, nothing. 6th, you're going to get Ritual Adept, which is cool. Do I want Decipher Arcane before that? But then, yeah. But then on the flip side, right? Where's your ritual stuff coming from? Okay, your spell list has every ritual spell on it, which is nice. And then ritual casting, which is like not necessarily a thing, right? That's not... Because, like, there's a few classes that get ritual casting, so it's not like, whoa, stand out, this thing can cast rituals, I've never seen that before. That's not the case whatsoever. So really your only ritual feature is, like, your, at first level is spellcasting, your spell list contains every ritual spell. Which is something that's going to grow with you, but not quite as potent as Scroll Scrivener, I feel. So Ritual Adept is your first real meaty ritual feature. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I was just thinking maybe we need to, like, shift around some things, but I feel like getting Ritual Adept any later than 6th is, like... it's almost pointless at that point, right? Because I could make Ritual Adept earlier, but, like... there's so much stuff that's basically necessary. Like, yeah, Artistic Pursuits, but Artistic Pursuits is mainly a ribbon feature. Like, you're not getting a huge amount of stuff out of that. Like, oh yeah, woohoo, languages, you know? That's nice, but, like... eh. Expertise in your tools, you know? Again, it's nice, but, like... it's not a skill proficiency, it's just a tool proficiency, which do not come up nearly as often. So, and casting a ritual in 1 minute instead of 10. Now that's a feature. That's definitely a feature. Yeah, these are not interchangeable, like a ribbon for an actual meaty thing. I could see this getting... but no, you're getting your order. And your order gives you an extended spell list and another feature. Yeah. It's got to be a ribbon at 3rd. I mean, you don't have to have a ribbon at 3rd, but, like, this adds a lot of flavor without adding a huge amount of mechanics. So, I think it's good. As is. Yeah. I think what I want to do now is I just want to double check for that concentration thing we talked about earlier. I guess. Yeah. Just trying to think how many, like... Yeah, we should go in to do that. Oh, yeah, I'll do it now. Let's see. How many concentration things do we have here? So what do we got? We've got... Do I have Beast Bond on here? No, I took Beast Bond off. Did I? Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, it would just be concentration things that these are being affected by. Detect evil and good? No, detect evil and good is one I got rid of. Detect magic, though. How long does that last for? Up to 10 minutes, okay. Detect poison and disease. I had Entangle at one point, but I got rid of it because I think it was too druidy for this. Plus, I've got the seals that kind of do a lot of that stuff anyway, so I don't want redundancy there. Expeditious Retreat. I don't think I got that. I think I got Long Strider. Fairy Fire. Okay, no, yeah, I do have Fairy Fire. How long does that last? A minute? Nah. Find Familiar. Doesn't really matter for Find Familiar. Protection from evil and good. It lasts for 10 minutes. Searing Smite. Definitely don't have that. Wow, okay. What are we down there? Tasha's Caustic Brew only lasts for a minute. That's your ritual casting time anyway, so like... Yeah, not all that useful so far, unless there's second level stuff, right? Silent Image. Just make sure nobody's in chat here. Yeah, no, I'm not missing anything. Self. Alter. Okay, there we go. Alter Self. That one lasts for an hour. So being able to cast a ritual and still have Alter Self up, that would be fairly useful. Beast Sense. Beast Sense lasts for an hour. Okay, yeah, I think we're starting to get somewhere here. Darkness. Darkness lasts for 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah, it just looked like there wasn't a lot of first levels that make any use of this, but like... Invisibility. Ooh. Oh, hello. Hello, hello. Invisibility. Lasts for an hour. A Creature you touch becomes invisible. Anything the target is wearing as long as the target is a person. The spell ends if the target attacks or casts a spell. I believe how it works is for a ritual, it's considered cast after the ritual is complete. So with this ability, you could complete a ritual while invisible. That could be pretty cool, actually. I did... yeah, there it is, invisibility. I was like, oh, where's invisibility on the list? I don't see it. Levitate. Levitate lasts for 10 minutes. Yep. Levitate lasts for 10 minutes. You point someone, you send them up into the air, and you cast your ritual for a minute. Your ritual's done. Do like a summon steed ritual. Boom. He's left up there floating. You're now riding away on a horse, and he's still going to be floating for another 9 minutes. Yeah? That's kind of neat. Again, I don't think this is like crazy powerful. It's not meant to be. This is meant to be a minor feature. But I'm just looking at all this stuff and like... Levitate... locate object, up to 10 minutes. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, any of the summon spells, especially any of the summon spells. Okay. I think I don't need to go any further. I think I've gotten to the point where it's like, yeah, this has some viability to it. Keyword being some. Because it's meant to be a minor feature. But, yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with that. Where? Okay, there we go, yeah. It's looking a bit different. Threw me off. Now that we actually have stuff here. I'm used to making it, or used to it just looking like a bunch of question marks. That's what got me. Just checking the stream health here. Oh. Nice. Apparently there's still some people watching. That's pretty good. I know it's awfully late for most people. It's the unfortunate thing about my time zone. Like, everyone's ahead of me, basically. So it's always super awkward. Like, even anybody else in North America, they're probably asleep by now. They probably went to sleep a few hours ago. Which is, a little sad, unfortunately, but whatever. It's the best I can do, I suppose. Oh, we do not need this. Chance to not consume a spell scroll on use. We can delete that because we have made that. Cool, okay. Casting a ritual does not break concentration on a spell. Now I need to double check. Ben, there we are. So what page was this on? Okay, there we go. Certain spells, including spells cast as rituals. Beautiful. There we go. That's exactly the wording I was looking for. Require more time to cast, minutes, even hours. When you cast a spell using a... Yeah. Cool. Just wanted to make sure it actually applied to rituals, and I wasn't, like, going crazy and jumping the gun here. Also interesting, you don't lose the spell slot if your casting is interrupted. So like you've got a minute cast time. Slots only consumed upon actually finishing it. Interesting. Okay. There we go, longer cast times. Finally found the actual ruling. Okay. Certain spells, including spells cast as rituals, require more time to cast. Minutes or even hours. When you cast a spell with a casting time longer than a single action or reaction, you must spend your action each turn casting the spell. Okay. And you must maintain concentration while you do so. If your concentration is broken, the spell fails, but you don't expend the spell slot. If you want to try casting the spell again, you must start over. Okay. I think I should probably add that as like a rules clarification box, because as Ben said in his Twitter thread, barely anybody knows about this rule, even though it's like right there smack dab in the spellcasting section of the player's handbook. But you know, most people just kind of forget a lot often. Like me, I forgot about it too, so I don't know what I'm talking about here. Like I'm putting myself above everyone. Actually, I suppose a pretty good question here would be, how many spells with the ritual tag are an action to cast. Quite a lot. And if it's not an action to cast, it's a minute. Okay. Yeah, no, cool. I was beginning to worry that maybe, like, I wonder how many rituals are going to be over the 10-minute mark, which is, like, that sweet spot for, like, concentration spells. Like, there's a lot of concentration spells that last for 10 minutes, right? And I was worried about the overlap, but this should be fine. I need some sort of name that invokes, like, an ease of doing the ritual, like, second nature, right? Let's open up the good old thesaurus. When in doubt, thesaurus it out. Quiet, peaceful, lack of difficulty. Okay. This is the section I'm looking for. Calm, calmness, comfort, content, luxury, relaxation, satisfaction, serenity. Ooh, serenity. Is there a synonym for ritual? I want to try and not use ritual adept, ritual this, ritual that. So we've got... So now that means ceremony or tradition. I mean, we could use those. Act, custom, formality, habit. Liturgy? I'm not familiar with that one. Hold on, what does liturgy mean? Worship ceremony. Okay. Observant. Serenity, practice. Right. Serene. Right. Right, it's a bit more religious, though. Ceremonial serenity? Ceremonial ritual format. Of, relating to, or characterized by ceremony, formal ritual. It's not that helpful of a definition. Used in or in connection with ceremonies. A system of ceremonies, rites, formalities prescribed. Formal behavior found at appropriate. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Ceremonial serenity. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That works. Cool, cool. Ceremonial Serenity. Performing rituals are now. So, second nature to you that take much mental performing a ritual does not no longer breaks concentration on a spell. When you perform a ritual, it no longer breaks concentration on a spell you are currently concentrating on. When you perform a ritual, it no longer breaks concentration on a spell you are currently concentrating on. It no longer breaks your concentration on a spell you are concentrating on. When you perform a ritual, it no longer breaks your concentration. Yeah, that works. Still want to grab that. Oops, too high. Here we go. Rules reminder, longer casting times. Bodani MT. 8 italic. MT 8 italic. Yeah, they said it was on page 202. Okay, cool. 202. PHB. Beauty. I don't need this little bit here where it says see concentration rules below, because there is no concentration rules below. There we go. So Pinnacle Scribe is gonna have to go. Done. Cool. Sometimes the program I'm using just likes to continue to scroll even though I tell it to stop. That's always fun. Text body, heading 2. Text body, none of the formatting messed up, it looked like. Sweetness. Cool. There we go. Oh, this is starting to come together. This looks real nice. Decipher Arcane. Ceremonial Serenity. Pinnacle Scribe. Oh, these names. Ritual Adept. It's alright. It's okay, I guess, but... I mean, it is an early level feature, so... It doesn't necessarily need, like, a big flashy name. It's like, yeah, you're good at rituals. Okay. I think that's fine. There we go. Oh, this is looking real nice. And I can already tell that this area down here, I actually don't know if... Does my mouse even show up on OBS? It does. Okay, cool. I was like... Because I've been pointing out a lot of things using my mouse. And, yeah. That would have been a bummer if the whole time nobody could see what I was pointing at. That would be big sad. Big sad indeed. Okay, okay, okay. Decipher, Arcane, Ceremonial Serenity. Let me just double check this. Starting at 14th level, performing rituals are now so second nature to you that they no longer take much. They no longer take much of your mental effort. Performing rituals are now so second nature to you that they no longer take much of your mental effort. Yeah, I think that's a bit smoother. When you perform a ritual, it no longer breaks your concentration on a spell that you are currently concentrating on. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Performing rituals are now so second nature to you that they no longer take much of your mental effort. When you perform a ritual, it no longer breaks your concentration on a spell you're currently concentrating on. Clean, simple, to the point. I think that makes sense. If anybody's watching, still, just let me know if that makes sense to you. Or I guess anybody out there in YouTube land, let me know as well if you're rewatching the video later. Get more more Discord stuff coming my way. Give me a sec. Nice. Okay. Actually, what we could do is we could actually enter these into the chart. So the 10th level feature was Decipher Arcane. The 14th was Ceremonial. Right? Serenity. Pinnacle Scribe at 18th, and still don't know what we want to do for the later level 1, 20th. Does it have to be a ritual feature? Is what I'm wondering. Yeah, does this actually need to be a ritual feature? Because, like, we've kind of went over that, yeah, at first level you're getting some ritual action and some scroll action. That's cool. And then you've got a ritual. Hold on. Is this showing up? Yeah, ritual at 6th. Scroll at 10th. Ritual at 14th. Scroll at 18th. If we make the major thing another ritual, it's 3 rituals and only 2 scrolls. And the reason I haven't done any kind of, like, seal-related things is because you're getting a lot of that action. Any kind of, like, big seal interaction stuff, that's coming from your order. However, your order only goes up to 14th level. So there are 6 levels past that where you're just not getting anything else. Because, like, new way to interact with your seals. And then a seal interaction. There's an 8-level gap between that. An 8-level gap and then a 6-level gap for your 20th level capstone. And this is called the Sealer. The class is called the Sealer. Yeah, like rituals and scrolls are like a cool thing. It does to add flavor to it, right? And then it makes sense, right? You know, you're writing stuff and like preparing things. You've got a bunch of doodads ready to go. But you're still, at the end of the day, called the Sealer. And I think this has to be a seal feature. Yeah. I think this does need to be a seal feature. Also for the fact that I can't for the life of me think of anything else to like make rituals better. Other than just like, oh, you know, you can cast any ritual you want. Which like invalidates a few other things you've picked up along the way. And also you already have access to every ritual on your spell list, no matter what. That's just built into the Sealer spell list. So yeah. I think file, save as 5.4. This is now a major seal feature. Yeah. I think that's how it's gonna have to work. Because now I guess now there's no, like, major ritual feature, right? But, like, how major can you get when it comes to rituals? Like, I don't think there's that much territory you can do to make a really potent ritual feature. Because, like, as we've shown before, for the ritual staff ideas, I have a few, like, minor things I want to add to there, but, like, nothing crazy powerful, and I just can't think of anything super potent that would be actually decent and fun to use, so I don't know. Maybe I'll flip-flop all this entirely, but for now, yeah, you are called the Sealer. Yeah, no, this is gonna have to be. Yeah, this is a seal feature, absolutely. Well, I think that nails that. But having fiddled with this, unfortunately, means that we're going to have to make everything in this table a little bit smaller, which is kind of annoying. Yeah. I wouldn't have to if I didn't have 3 lines chewed up by this tool proficiency here. That, like, no other class ever has to deal with, right? Like, every other class is just like, yeah, you get a tool, maybe, but most of the time you don't get anything. This is just like, yeah, just have your pick, go to town, right? just experiment with this. So let's see, what if I just grab all of this and make this a 9? That's drastically making it smaller. Like, I don't need it that small, so grab this again, make it a 9.5. Okay. That's a little better. Yeah. What would be awesome is if I could... No. Can I make that any smaller? No, I can't make that any smaller, man. Make that a 5. And this a 5. It's not small enough. Make that a 4. And make this a 4. And then there we go. Now we can, like... have that there where it belongs. Yeah. Okay. That'll have to do. And then bring that down to there. Bring that down like so. That's not bumping down. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Liking this a lot. Good. Okay. There we go. Layout work, am I right? How fun. Well, I mean, it is fun. I find it quite fun, but I don't think it's the most entertaining thing to watch on a live stream. But, we've been going for 3 hours. And I think that's actually a pretty good spot to wrap it up, because I don't really have any idea for what to do with this just yet. Which... kind of an issue, I guess, but then again, like... we have everything up to 19th level, so it's not like any major issues are going to arise. Because, like, I'm pretty sold on what we've made here today. Decipher Arcane, Ceremonial Serenity, and Pinnacle Scribe. Oh, beautiful names. I'm not going to get over the names. But yeah. Yeah, I'll think of something. I'm sure I'll come up with something. But until then, I will call it here. So thank you so very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream, and if you're watching the replay of this, thank you for making it all the way to the very end. Big props to you. But anyway, I of course have been the Awesome Soul, and I will see you, yes, you specifically, next time. Take care. And that's a wrap.